we're gonna be showing off all of the cool stuff that's coming in the next What's that? A call? Hello?
Hello, Takrat. I have a mission for you. As you know, the kitted player population has gotten out of control.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Takrat, I think it's time we change that. What I need you to do, Takrat, is to teach Timmy's how to rat once more, and maybe, just maybe, we can start dwindling this Chad problem.
On it. Ratting is one of the most frowned upon strategies in Ghost of Tabor, but that's only because it gets results. While sure there's better ways to actually get money, there's nothing quite as easy as ratting. And I see a lot of people write off the strategy entirely because they don't know how to rat, implying it's a waste of time. So today we're going to be going over all of the best ways to rat in this game, and by the end of this, you are going to be a master rat and you are going to be pulling so much loot you're not going to know how to carry it. But let's start off with something simple. What's a rat without his... Ghost of Tabor has a total of 71 different guns in the game, which makes finding the perfect rat weapon really difficult. So after weighing all the pros and cons, it's the bar. Just run the bar. If you didn't know, in Ghost of Tabor, the Browning automatic rifle, or bar, is actually one of the most overpowered guns in the game. Being available at level 1 Spectre and being dirt cheap, this gun is an absolute powerhouse. The reason this gun is great is entirely because of its caliber, of 30-06. And if you're not a gun nerd, this means nothing to you. So let me explain in better terms. This is 5.56. A pretty decent caliber that goes in most of your assault rifles. And here's 30-06. Notice how the 5.56 doesn't look very big anymore. This is the same caliber that gets put into the Springfield rifle, which is a bolt-action rifle. But with the Browning automatic rifle, it's fully automatic. If we take a look on the wiki, it is classified as a full power round, which gives it the same penetration chance as, you guessed it, the XM250. Combine that with the sheer amount of damage this gun is pushing out, it can two-tap players with room to spare. And if for some godforsaken reason you decide to run AP in this thing, it will pierce tier 6 armor, aka collector, 100% of the time. To put this into perspective, the absolute highest protection grade the best helmet has in the game is protection grade 5, which gives the bar a 50% chance of penetrating it. This gun just straight up does not care about armor, and if you get the jump on a player, like a rat usually does, you're almost guaranteed to win the fight. Putting all of this together, in most engagements, the only gun you should be running if you are camping is the bar. But to be honest, your loadout's probably the least important part of ratting. A wise man once said, it's not about how you rat, it's about where you rat. Which leads us on to the... While all of the spots I'm going to show you are genuinely viable, you need to understand that not all maps are created equal, and that you're probably going to get way more returns on a map like Matka or Island Night than you are on Missile Silo, so just keep that in mind. Starting off with Island, we have this insane cliffside spot overlooking beach. If you parkour up this little sand pile, you can shimmy your way around the hitboxes and get into this little corner. It is really hard to spot somebody up here, and you basically get to see the entire view. So if you have a slightly longer ranged gun, you're just gonna go crazy up here. But this isn't even the best spot to watch beat. No. That would be the Rat Cave, as I've named it. Hopping over this railing or shimmying under this rock formation, you're able to get into this little cave that is actually so hard to spot people in and gives you a perfect view over docks. It is actually insane, and if you try this on Island Night, you're gonna get so many kills. And to end this, you guys knew it, literally any tree. Trees are super broken on Island, so just find a big enough tree that's watching either an exfil or a high traffic area, and I mean, everybody knows what tree camping is. I mean, you all know how to do it. It's easy, it works. There's a reason why people hate it. I'm sure there's other great spots on Island too, but these ones just work so well that you don't need them. So that concludes Island. And now on to our next heavy hitter, Matka. Matka's a little bit harder to rat because there's not as many rat spots, and also no trees. But here's a couple spots that I found that I think work great. Number 1 being behind the graveyard. Behind the graveyard, you can literally walk up onto this ledge, run all the way back, and you have this great fence that you can just straight shoot through, and it works all the time. People never suspect it, and it's a pretty popular road, so it actually works quite a bit. Next spot is on top of this barrel stack inside of House of Scott. It's pretty easy to get up there once you do this jump, and it's so dark up there that you're just not going to be spotted. You have a direct line of sight onto the skull, so if anybody's trying to come in and run House of Scott, you got eyes on them. Another decent spot is inside a museum. When you're in the locker room, you can actually get up onto these crates, onto the top crates, and then hop onto this little ledge that surrounds the room for some reason. And then you just position yourself over an entrance, and then you just wait for people to walk right past you without even knowing you were there. There are more spots on Matka that I could go into, and a couple that I actually want to make videos about, but this should do the trick for right now. Next up, we got Matka Underground. Now, I've really tried to find good spots on Matka Underground, and I've only found one, and this would be camping red key card on this little ledge here. You get to this ledge by just wrapping yourself around the ladder, and then you could step on this little ledge, and then from there, you just walk in. This is really the only good spot for Matka Underground, so we're just going to move on to our next map, Missile Silo. Missile Silo has plenty of good spots, really, but there's only one that you should actually be using, and it's on this little round table outside of Kurtak. This spot has so much traffic and is so hard to counter, it might as well be free loot. And finally, for Chodov, I'm gonna be honest, I tried, but there are not very many good rat spots for this map. There are plenty of spots that, if you are already there, are decent to camp in, but there's no spots that you should actually be seeking out and going to on this map, in my opinion. And I think that's about it. I was gonna do an outro, but then I couldn't think of anything, so this is the best you're gonna get, alright? Deal with it. If you like Tabor content, I don't know if you know this, I make Tabor content, so let's make something happen. And we're very close to 2K subs, so if you like to subscribe, helps the channel out. We're getting there. Alright, bye-bye.